Hello. Ooh. It's been like forever. Whee! Look, I got my haircut. It's shorter. And that's a little funny. But I don't know what happened to my part either. It's gone. So I'll find it one day. All right. So, yeah, it's Hi, Pansy. How are you? This is our new time. Although it feels like our old time to me. So, I've been, it's been really crazy. So I haven't, gosh, I haven't read any more of the book. I hope everyone else has. This is part 3 of our journey through a Weedwife's remedy. I did cut my hair. It was time. It was past time. So I shoved it off and everything. But as you can see, well, I don't have like a regular person who cuts my hair. So, but I have a place I go to. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I just have to fix the part. Maybe this weekend, because now I'm working full time. There's like 0 time during the week, but it's also an adjustment period. So I'm like it's been surreal. So, but let's see. I don't remember what page we were supposed to be on, which is good. And I totally meant to look at this before. Do you remember what page book club was on? Oh my gosh, because I read ahead. I haven't been prepared in like a couple weeks. Sorry guys. Let me take a minute. We weren't that far in. Okay, I remember now. I think we were into Ease the Heart. Less time spent grooming. Yeah, I never spend that much time grooming. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it may be a repeat of some of of when we met before. Because I can't remember where we were. So I think we're going to start with a feudal flower, violets in the garden, garden in the woods, garden apothecary on page 16. Hey Roman, hello. Oh, page 14. Oh, okay. Thank you, Pansy. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Oh, did we not start Violet? Hi. I thought we had started already. Well, I'm going to start I'm going to start on page 16 and can always go back. So last page, I had the corner turned. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were, because I do remember going over that part. So I'm going to start on 16. I was hoping, I want to show you guys this one thing real fast. So everybody knows about thrift books, right? Well, I ordered like 3 of these breast cancer, breast health from Susan Weed. One I was going to keep and 2 I was needing to give to other people. But I found this in one of the books. And it's signed by Susan Weed. It says, from my heart to yours, Susan Weed. There's a flower, $5.96. So I thought that was really, really cool. And I was like, well, I'm keeping this one. So anyway, so yeah. Yes, we're good, Tange. We're good. Okay, so this is a quote by Tennessee Williams. The violets in the mountains have broken the rocks. So the violets are going to start coming up soon. The flowers, because we are heading into spring. And I've been seeing a lot of dandelions lately, which is really cool. So despite being labeled with such attributes as shy and shrinking, violets are often railed about by gardeners as being invasive, pushy, and even plant bully. Yay, so happy to hear, hon. Hugs to all. Have a good night. I'm off to write songs. Boo. Oh, bye. I love you, Tange. Bye. Have a good time writing songs. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Pansy, you're still cold, right? Yeah, because you're like way more north than I am. It's still cold here. Good night. Oh my gosh, YouTube updated their emojis. I love it. I love it. They look so good. It is still cold here, but it's gonna start getting warm. Well, we have some warm days. And it's been warmer overall. Like we used to have some days where it went below 0, but we haven't had any this winter. I don't think so. Pansy, it just looks like it's you and me tonight. I think like sometimes, I don't know. You still have, you have snow. We got like a dusting this morning. We really haven't had any snow. We had one day where it like snowed all day, but it didn't. It only stuck a little bit to like the cars and the ground, and the cars and the grass, and then like the next day it was gone. So yeah. But yeah, looks like everyone is not joining us. And I feel like that happens sometimes when we miss weeks. And of course it's a new time too, so this seems like something of a demonization of both the native and non-native species of violet in the U.S. They are indeed prolific, often spreading by both seed and rhizome, but I would hardly call them bullies, based on their hardy nature. Humans sometimes deem them sneaky because when their more obvious showing flowers aren't pollinated, they will produce small green flowers that result in pods full of seeds that can be flung from the from the plant. There's a kitty. To ensure the continuation of the species. Some people term the violet's early spring showy flowers fake flowers or pseudo flowers, but this is incorrect. More accurately, some violets, such as V. odiola, bloom so early in the season that there are no pollinators around to pollinate them, and thus the plant has developed a backup plan in the form of secondary green flowers that occur later in the year that self-pollinate and then distribute seeds as means of reproduction. So I've never seen like the green the flowers that she's talking about. I've just seen like the showier ones. So this year I guess I'll have to look. Maybe I'll just miss them. But anyway. And I was really anyway. And I was really it is bothering me. The most well-known violet is a sweet violet. And this is its Latin name for the violet we're talking about. Okay. And this one is Campanule. Let's sweet violet. Sweet violet. Famous for its incredible scent and extensive use in perfumery and cosmetics. However, all violet species, whether aromatic or not, have healing properties that are well worth exploring. The ones that I picked, the wild violets, I don't like remember them smelling particularly like perfumey or anything. So maybe there's another species that's smellier. Violets are particularly ubiquitous in the temperate world, growing everywhere from the woodland of Great Britain to weedy lawns in the northeastern United States to the cool upper elevation mixed conifer forests of the American Southwest. Easily recognizable and safe enough to eat as a food. So you can eat violet flowers and I believe also leaves as a food, but not the roots. I really like the flowers. They're really good in salads. So you're gonna, as we go into spring, if you follow like any like planty people, herbal people, you're gonna see a bunch of like posts about violet flowers and dandelion flowers and in these like spring salads. It's often one of the first plants I like to teach folks about when introducing them to herbs. And the flowers are really tasty. So, and we did cover this with Susan Weed. And I think there should be like a recipe posted on the it's a little farther down, but if you look on the pictures of the Facebook group, the herbal Facebook group, you should find it. Pansy, maybe after distilled for perfume smell is more released. Oh, maybe. That's true. I really don't know anything about how like they went, whether today or in the past went ahead and, went about making perfume from violet flowers. So yeah, it's possible. It doesn't taste perfumey when you eat it, So but yeah, so Pansy, by you should definitely have violets at some point, probably later than I will have them because I'm in the South. So but I think most people are familiar with them for the perfume and not necessarily for all of its other properties that we're going to go into. So strangely enough, most herbalists will wax poetic about the attributes of other mild, nourishing green herbs such as chickweed or dandelion. It can be difficult to find someone who considers themselves an advanced practitioner who takes violet seriously as a medicine. I definitely do. I think I make a oil from the leaves. It's really good for the lymphatic system, and it's really good for issues that arise in the breast. And she's gonna get to that, I believe. Yeah. So it's kind of overlooked, but it's really helpful. And Susan, we just talk about it in this book. For the breast cancer, breast health book. It's one of the herbs in here. On a side note, this is a really good book. And it's like $5 on thrift books. So if you were, if this was something you were going through or not, or wanted to know how to maybe how to be proactive about it in your life. So there are a number of exceptions, of course, especially among the more weed-oriented clinicians. And that would be me if I was seeing people, if I was a clinician. But I certainly think that this abundant little plant deserves more respect as a medicine and food than is generally granted in the North American herbalism. I am inclined to agree with the words of Lord Felter. And here's a quote from the King's American Dispensary. Probably all the species possess analogous properties. They are undoubtedly more active agents than are generally supposed and deserve further investigation. How old are you? I forget. Oh, I am 42. So, yes. And I was born in October, and that makes me a Libra. Yes. And then this quote by John Keats: "And shade the violets, that they may bind the moss in leafy nets." My oldest daughter turned 35 today. Oh, happy birthday to your daughter, Pansy. Woo. That's a big birthday. Yeah. I hope she had a good day. So, yeah. And just well, 7 years. I can't do. Not too much older than her. So The scent we most associate with violets is from the flowers, especially from the ion. Going to visit her next week. Oh, awesome. Where does she live? Close or some distance? Of aromatic species. However, the leaves of many species are also aromatic and widely utilized in perfumery. Viola canadensis, although its flowers are usually only mildly scented at most, can have strongly aromatic leaves. I've often found myself sniffing the air when harvesting the species for medicine, absolutely wondering what that alluring and delicate and yet peppery smell in the air was, only to realize it was emanating from the very plant I was harvesting. Intensely green in nature, violet leaf can be addictive to those with an affinity for it, and I would happily sleep on a mattress stuffed with that peculiar, heart-shaped, wild river scent. As it is, I'm as likely to create or wear a botanical perfume built around the leaf absolute as I am the flower. Ohio, okay. So that's like, is that like yeah, okay. So that's some distance. Note that the leaf-in aromatics can widely vary from that green peppery scent to a strong wintergreen odor, all depending on the species and growing environment. So yeah, like I said, I never have noticed that it smells very perfumey. So definitely think that I do not have a lot of Viola canadensis growing by me. Have you gotten far in this book, Pansy? You could make a sachet of the leaves and put under the pillow. You could, yeah. I would definitely, of course, dry them first. I think that would be cool. And I don't think it's something that people would normally think about as like an herb that would go in a sachet. So 2-hour drive. Oh, that's not too bad. My parents are like, oh gosh, a day, 2 days. Sorry, 2 days drive from me. So it's a little tough. But it is what it is. So those are good. They're coming up in the summer, spring, May. I don't know. Coming over. It's really like over. So okay, so now we're going to dive into the medical effect and the applications. So okay. Lymphatic and heat-moving properties. Violet works both internally and externally to stimulate sluggish or stuck lymph. Unlike some stronger lymphatics, I've never seen violet cause headaches. Hypochondrial pain, which I don't know what that is. This is a book. If you haven't seen some of my other lives, you might know that. You might not know, but anyway, this is a book with big words. So I think that one I'm going to look up and see what it means. My sister lives in Alabama. It takes a while to get to her house. Yeah. I mean, it's a really super big country that we live in. Yeah, I think I was lucky to have like a lot of my family really close. And now a lot of my family is not, but it's okay. So I was going to look up hypochondrial. I wish we had Miss Heather. Miss Heather, are you? She has, especially with one driver. Yeah, no, totally. Like I think the most I can do is like 8 hours. I'm gonna look this word up, guys. See what this means. So we can HY. Oh. Consistent pain? Huh. Not very helpful. It looks like it is pain. The upper abdomen. Yeah, Google is not being very, very helpful. Hypochondriac means figure. Well, this was hypochondrial. This is the word hype. Yeah. Let's see, HY. Let's type it in. Cows. H. Yeah. And it looks like it says something about the abdomen and something about constant pain. So, so apparently it helps that for general feeling of malaise. Instead, it works gently to get things moving. So it's a nice, gentle lymphatic. Not sure, though, it meant someone who thinks everything is going to make them sick. That is hypochondriac. Yes. Let's see if I can... Yeah, so that is this one.
Hypochondriac.
Yep. That is this word, which apparently is different. That's why I wish Heather was here, because she would straighten us all out. What causes it? A severe symptom believed to threaten one's health. I mean, I know it just means you think that everything. A person who is abnormally anxious about their health. That's what the definition says. So. I guess similar to somebody who might be also considered, those people who like don't like germs and always use the hand wipes at the grocery stores and stuff like that. So I know when I used to work at the grocery store, like we, you know, well, I've worked at several grocery stores, but like if we ran out of those wipes at the beginning of the, people can get them to wipe down their carts. It was, people were really upset. So not that, I'm not saying everyone who wants to wipe down their cart is a germaphobe or a hypochondriac. So also, but people did get, so I'm not trying to say that. But that seemed to be important to people, which I understand. You want to stay well, and those carts get used by a lot of people. So, yeah. Well, I think they're related. You could probably also be a hypochondriac and a germaphobe. I do feel like you do need like a certain amount of exposure to build up your immune system. So we'd be really in trouble if we didn't have that. Yeah. I should be more germophobic. You have pink eye right now? Oh. Wow. It's been like years since I had pink eye. If you had some chickweed, that's really good for pink eye. But what we used to do for pink eye is we used to heat up warm water and put like sea salt in it and just take a cotton ball and dip it in and just sort of like rub it across, your eye. You close your eye and it's all warm and it helps clear out the gunk and everything else. But yeah, if you have some chickweed or get some chickweed, it's supposed to be good for that issue. And probably like topically, I actually don't know. I always thought it was topically for that, but you can look it up. Or I would advise to look it up because I'm not sure. But yeah, just like I would make a tea. I'd like make an overnight tea and strain it out and then heat it up and then put the salt in it too. And you can just rub it on your eye. There isn't really much fresh chickweed out now. It does like grow in like the colder climates. In the winter, it does still grow, and you can find it like under the snow. So you may be able to find it. But okay, so if you need a gentle lymphatic, violet would be one. It's a wonderful addition to a formula, even as a simple. A simple is when you just use one herb. A formula would, of course, use or many. Use one of the chopsticks I got for you to help the chapped eyelid from rubbing eye. Oh yeah. Oh, awesome. Has that been helpful? Right, because it's itchy, right? It's been a long time. I think if you got one of the rose or peppermint or lavender or the unscented, that has a chickweed in it. So, and plantain, I think those would be both really good for that. So, because it's all like crusty, right? Yeah, it gets crusty and gross. In the treatment of sore, swollen lymph glands during an acute viral infection such as the flu, its demulcent action combined with the lymphatic stimulation also makes it perfect to pair up with the astringent and also anti-inflammatory rose flower and or leaf for sore, swollen throats at the onset of cold and flu. Just did it once so far, not as sore. Use a rose one. Yes. The rose one would be a good one because it would be, yes. Awesome. I always use my lip balm for many things besides just lip balm. So, Pansy one, a giveaway for me because I have a shop. I have an Etsy shop and I make lip balms. So that's what we're chatting about. That, in case you did not know, I make lip balm and I make infused oils. And chickweed is one of the oils that I use to put in lip balm. And you can use it for dry skin, bug bites, other stuff besides lips. So, but we can use violets for eczema, boils, acne, and other irritated and inflamed skin conditions, especially when accompanied by signs of constitutional or local dryness, can be a sign of sick lymph and hot tissues. All respond well with violet both internally and externally. So she's going to talk about like constitutions in this book, which is a traditional Chinese medicine terminology, and I'm not quite as familiar with that. So, I'm not going to be able to add anything to it, but I just wanted to let everybody know that because it's she's going to mention it. It's like a diagnostic way of sort of evaluating what's going on and then what herbs you would use to treat that situation. Save the jasmine one for lips. Nice. Yes. Good plan. Especially now that you've used it on your eye, you probably don't want to, use it on your lips for the rose. The lymphatic moving action of violet is probably where the plant's reputation as an anti-cancer agent stems from, and is often paired with poke root. Yes, so you can, poke root is really strong, and you might have been growing up, having people say, don't eat the poke berries, and it's just, everybody knows. It just stains it's really red, the berries, it stain everything. This plant is very prevalent around where I am. And it's got this huge, I think it can get really big. My friend has like a really huge one on her property, and I imagine the root is like humongous. And it's really hard to get rid of, but yeah, it's a really strong plant. Like if you take the tincture, a lot of times tinctures of most plants you're taking like a couple of droppers full. But with poke, I believe you take like one or two drops. Like that's the difference. And you're taking like 60 to 40 drops of something else, like 3 times a day, and you're taking one drop, or you're like, so it's super strong. If you do the poke, you should wear like gloves and just do a lot of research because it's super strong. So I use finger to apply. Didn't use straight from. Okay, straight on highlight from tube. Okay, so you could then you can use it also still for your lips. That's very smart. And that is very smart. So, or maybe you'll win another giveaway and you can get another rose lip balm. Yeah. Yes. Wow. Yes. I know. It's crazy. Poke is an interesting plant. But you'll see this company makes a breast balm. I'll be right back. Ooh, I'm going to put up a link. Yeah. I'm going to find their... Oh, no. Because this is very interesting. I don't know what's going on with their website. Oh, there it is. Okay, so they have a okay, they have a breast massage oil. It does not have poke, but they do have a they have a poke salve. Which is cool. Rather win the Herberry book. Well, maybe you'll win that one. So this is Red Moon Herbs. They're local to me, but they're they're a pretty big brand in my area. And they make a poke root salve. They also make a lump and bump one now. So I was like trying to look at their breast salve, but it doesn't have their breast oil. But I don't think it has poke in it. They reference Susan Weed's book. So it's got calendula, pine, yarrow. It does have violets, leaf, and flower. So if you didn't want to make your own, you can look into getting these two, or for your boob health. So the lymphatic moving action of violet is probably where the plant, sorry, I read that already, didn't I? So it's often paired with poke root as an adjunct to mainstream cancer treatments. A formula I've seen help reduce the residuousness and unpleasant side effects of chemotherapy. Insidious. So it makes, it sounds like it helps make chemotherapy less awful, less nasty. So that's really great. Tincture, infusion syrups, elixirs, etc. can be used for internal lymphatic treatment. And you'll see if you can also make a vinegar. And if you use white vinegar instead of apple cider vinegar, with the flowers, it'll turn purple. So you'll have a purple violet flower infused vinegar, but you just have to use like white vinegar because it won't really turn the apple cider vinegar, I don't think, colors, and you want to like really pack it in. So that's really fun. That can be used. So with the tinctures, infusion syrups, elixirs, etc. can be used for internal lymphatic treatment, and an infusion oil is wonderful as a massage oil to gently move sore or sluggish lymph from the outside. So that's what my violet oil, and I also make a breast balm, does. It's common to see violet infused oil, so does a breast massage oil, but it will work especially well with other stuck and inflamed lymphatic tissue. It'll work equally well. I especially love violet infused oil as a massage oil for wee ones, restraining lymphatic congestion due to its gentle, soothing nature, but it will work well for those of all ages. All right, we got to page 19. Woo! So, yeah, it's like I didn't even have a bookmark. I don't know. It's been crazy, you guys. New job. Oh. Okay, I'm bookmarking it now. I'm just falling down on my job. That's it. Falling down on my job. We are gonna stop saying that this is gonna be a little short. So probably gonna read a little more. This is page 19. Slippery sweetness, a soothing demoscent. I know it looks so. Ooh, we're gonna tell Violet ghost stories. The print is light and small, and even with this light, I'm still like needing my cell phone, so it does look really funny. Now I've never had the leaves before. I like the flowers, but I've never had the leaves. The slimy mucilaginous character of violet leaves gives it many of its healing actions, including the ability to reduce the sensations of burning in cystitis and urinary tract infections, and externally loosen the inflammation of eczema and wounds, while also assisting in the healing of irritated tissues. So that's really good, that the burning sensation of cystitis and urinary tract infections, because if anyone knows, we've had a urinary tract infection, it sucks. So, violet's ability to moisten the mucosa is systematic and is also very useful in treating a dry hacking cough where expectoration is scant or difficult. So if you have like a cough that you can't get, if you have like stuff stuck, and you need like an expectorant helps your body get all that stuff out. And so it says violet leaf. It just says violet, but is very good at that. And it's in stomach, so it works on the whole body, which is great. If desired, there's a demulcent effect. It is best to extract the plant in water rather than alcohol. So you make a tea or infusion made from fresh or dried violet leaves. So it is the leaves. Okay. This is because the mucilage responsible for the demulcent action is a carbohydrate more effectively extracted by water than alcohol. Eating violet as a food will work equally well, and most folks will find violets to be bland, sweet, and very palatable in salads or cooked in other greens. Oh, yo. Violet leaves. I was just thinking you could do like violet leaf chips. I wonder if they make a chip like kale chips. That might be really good, but sorry, you guys. I went from part-time to full-time. And I haven't worked a full-time job in like a really long time. So I'm pretty exhausted. Hence why we haven't had book club in 2 weeks. Hence why I haven't read anything in book club or been prepared. So this is all from when I read it before. Okay. I've noticed that some commercially obtained violet leaves have less of this property. So be on the lookout for that if you don't gather your own medicine or need to supplement with another source. It's easy to check by adding a bit of water to leaf crushed and seeing if it feels slimy between your fingers and stretches into thin strands of mucilage when you pull your fingers back. Pull your fingers apart. Additionally, some species of violet, wherever cultivated wild or feral, may contain less mucilage and potentially some less desirable constituents that you're looking for a sweet, moist mouthful without a prickly sensation in your throat. The slimier, the better. Violet has many properties not dependent on its moistening effects, but most of them work better when combined with abundant mucilage. Violet leaf can also be infused into oil to make a salve, or you can just smash up the fresh leaves to apply directly to the affected areas of pulpit. So that's like only the second herb that I've heard is used like that, or can be used. I'm sure there's more. No, forget that. There's plenty of herbs that you can do that with. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just thinking about chickweed and how like you can make like a spit poultice by like eating some of it and then just taking it out and sticking it on the bug bite. But this is completely different. This is my being very tired kicking in. So given the high water content of most violet species, it usually works best to wilt the flat leaves first and then infuse them into the chosen fat. A cold infusion of freshly picked violet leaves is likely to go off in a relatively brief amount of time, similar to plantain or comfrey. And this is where our oil making ideas differ. A lot of herbalists make oils many different ways from other herbalists. And so I was taught to make my oils with fresh plant material. And so that's my chosen method of making it. Sometimes though you do need to do what she's saying and wilt the leaves. And sometimes I'll just straight out dry stuff like flowers, just because you don't want it to mold. And also like I was taught like leaves like comfrey you want to wilt. But I've always done my violets without wilting. And plantain also. So it just varies from person to person. And you can see which one works best for you. But okay. So I just got super tired. So unfortunately I'll have to stop, but we've been going about an hour, so that's a good time. We're going to start on page 20 next week. It'll be 8:30 on Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. That's our new time, same day. And I have a bookmark now, so I know where we are. Like a proper discussion leader. Although, and maybe next time I will have some, I'd like to have some questions. If you guys have any like discussion questions about violets you wanted to bring to the group, or like just things you didn't know about them that maybe we knew, that could answer. So bring all your questions. You mark the corner. Thank you. I've got it. I've got it now. So, I mean, all I would have to do is watch like a bit of the last one to find out where we were. You can see all my color. I did highlight. Oh, I found these new highlighters. So, this, yes. Where are they? I think it's reversed for you guys. Stadler. They're great. It's a highlighter pencil. It's nice and big and chunky, and I really, really like it. So not very expensive, like $12 for like 4. So, anyway, bookmarked, and I'm going to try really hard to have some more discussion type questions, or any. But yes, if you want to bring some, please do. Your input is welcomed. If you have some awesome violet story you want to share, experience with the plant, now is the time while we were talking about violets. And, you can also post it to the website. Oh, I totally forgot. Me and Elaine, who, anyway, that's for another day. Right. Hold on. 1 second. I know I keep going on. This is the last aside. Yes, okay. So, go to bed, young lady. I know. I need to go to bed. I do. Next time, me and Elaine had a really interesting discussion on the Facebook group, and I wanted to read our discussion about violets. It was about, oh my gosh, was it about violets? It was about the book in general, and things we talked about. In the introduction of the book. So, yes. But that's going to be for next time. I completely forgot to kind of, but it was super interesting, and I just wanted to share it. So, what's the great one? Okay. So, see everyone next week. And feel free to read ahead. Probably already have read ahead. And yes. Okay. Thank you for joining me on these especially rambly book clubs. So, everyone have a good week. Hopefully, I will be less tired next week. I'm hoping I don't have to move this to the weekend. So, good night, Pansy. Thank you for joining me. And Yes. So I'm going to go watch some Star Trek just for a little bit. I have to take some pills and then go to bed. So, yes, the new Star Trek Discovery is really good, and Star Trek Picard. Ooh. So if you like Star Trek, I really like both of those. Actually, and I'm finally able to watch them. Okay, so